CD Projekt Red just dropped a bombshell of information regarding The Witcher, Cyberpunk, and more. Let's go over it. CD Projekt Red released a video, and I'll put the video in the description and in that little eye. I never know what to call that thing. In the little eye, if you click that. But this video went over not just about the franchises and the games, but the company itself. One of the first things they announced is a restructuring of the company, really emphasizing that the crunch culture that a lot of people were worried about and a lot of people left CD Projekt Red over is changing. They're trying to streamline things, they're changing leadership tactics, they're increasing pay across the board. They're trying to basically make it so they could bring in a lot more talent into CD Projekt Red, expand their reach. They're opening a new place in Boston, a new dev studio in Boston, and a lot of other things. So it seems like a lot of the flack they got about how they treated the staff and how they treated the developers over the whole Cyberpunk 2077 launch seems to be getting addressed, which is a good thing. But I know what you're really here for. You care about the games. What is up with Cyberpunk? What is up with The Witcher and the future titles? Well, they announced a lot. The first part concentrated more on The Witcher. There's a lot coming for The Witcher in the next couple years. The first thing they stated is that they have a project codenamed Sirius coming out very soon. The way they described it, though, I'm thinking this is going to be more of a mobile game. They didn't go into detail. They basically said, hey, we're working with a third-party service and they're trying to expand this game for a more global audience and it's going to have multiplayer. So to me, it's either going to be some type of multiplayer action type of thing, maybe a free-to-play thing, or more than likely some type of smaller mobile experience, which again, it's not their first time, dipping their toes in the mobile world, but that's what I kind of got from that. The next code word is the thing you really care about. It's called Polaris. Polaris is going to be the continuation of the Witcher series. But here's the crazy thing. While Polaris is not the official name, we don't have an official name or anything yet. It's just the, test project name. This project is going to be a 3-part series, and they're planning to release all 3 parts within the next 6 years after they put out the DLC for Cyberpunk 2077 released in 2023. So that's pretty crazy. Because think of it. Think how long between every single Witcher there was, and think how long Cyberpunk 2077 took. But that's why the first part of the video was very important, because they're trying to bring in a lot of talent. They're going to be using the Unreal Engine 5 for this project. And most importantly, they said that right now, they're just working on the framework of the entire series. So what they're trying to do, and the way they explained it, is simply put, they're building the foundation of the entire world. And once they have the foundation of the entire world, the next future titles aren't going to be like traditional sequels. They're going to be like a building block. So one game is going to be built with that foundation. It's going to have a story in the world. The next game is going to take place in the same exact world, probably a lot of the same characters, but they might add like a little wrinkle to when it comes to gameplay, and so on and so forth. That way, they're not like recreating everything from scratch or trying to make a traditional sequel. It's going to be like a part 1, part 2, part 3 in a overall continuing story. At least that's what I'm getting from this, because I can't think of any other way they could produce 3 games of the size of The Witcher within 6 years. It barely took them like 6 years to get, Cyberpunk 2077 out the door. And we all know how that was at launch. I mean, now the game is getting lauded, but at launch, it was a hot mess. The last thing is a project that is called Canis Majoris. Canis Majoris is going to be built by a separate team being monitored by CD Projekt Red. This seems more like the multiplayer or an expanded universe of the Witcher world. So I get a feeling that we're not going to be playing a Witcher in this series. We'll probably be playing something else, but it's going to expand around the world built around the Witcher, which I think would be pretty cool. It'd be kind of fun doing maybe different gameplay or maybe something different character within that world, but not having to play Geralt or another Witcher of any type. So I think that's going to be interesting. That one is going to be a little bit later. My guess is after the original 3 Witchers are going to get produced, probably somewhere towards the end, maybe when the third part of the new Witcher series is about to come out. We'll see what this other game is going to be. But they're not done. They announced that the next Cyberpunk game is on its way. The code name for that one is called Orion. They're building the framework, they're trying to get everything ready, and they're still going to be supporting 2077. They weren't completely clear if this is like a DLC to 2077 or maybe a brand new game in the series. I get a feeling it's a brand new game in the series, but it should be pretty interesting. But it seems like, at least this time around, instead of just throwing ideas at the wall, they're trying to build the foundation first for the game and then use that as stepping stones to increase and improve productivity, not really overstress the developers, not have the crazy crunch, but also hire in more staff to take care of all these projects, because this is a lot going on. The last thing announced was pretty unexpected. It's called Project Hater. We don't know anything about this project. The only thing we honestly know, it is a brand new IP. So it's not Cyberpunk, it's not The Witcher, it's something brand new. They kind of said something about dystopian, so I'm guessing it's going to be either some type of like post-apocalyptic or maybe gothic related type of game. But again, saying dystopian is pretty open-ended, so it's very early. They're still in very much the concept stage. So I'm getting that this game is probably going to come out years after The Witcher 3, well, not Witcher 3, the third part of the new Witcher series is about to drop. But they did want to emphasize that while we're getting a lot of single player experiences, we're also going to get a lot of multiplayer experiences as well. And on top of all that, because of Cyberpunk Edgerunners, which, by the way, I don't care if you don't like anime. I don't care if you don't like Cyberpunk. Go watch on Netflix Cyberpunk Edgerunners. It is a wonderful show. What are you excited about or worried about or any of that type of stuff? Let me know. Thanks for being awesome.